Alec at home. Shortly after that, Alec becomes unwell and has to be admitted to hospital. After he's been in hospital and he's been treated for what ails him, there's a meeting around his hospital bed, and it's decided that the best thing for Alec immediately to be discharged from hospital is that he goes into a care home. And we have made a film of Moira, his wife, and got her reactions immediately after this decision has been made in the hospital. So here she is.
I feel like I'm losing Alec. I know in one way I lost him maybe a wee while ago, but he's still the same person to me. This is the first time we've been properly apart in all the years we've been married, and it is breaking my heart. It should be me that's looking after him. I'm his wife. I made vows. I'm letting him down. But my health's not great now, and I understand that I'm not coping as well as I did. I just want to get the best place for him, you know. But I worry about the cost. I mean, am I going to have to sell the house or something like that? And I don't know whether I can just come and see him any time, whether it's, you know, I can just pop in, or I don't know if I can take him out for the day, you know, just for a wee jaunt, just for a trip to the shops or something like that. Like, see, they don't know him as well as I do. How do I know they can look after him properly? I mean, like, they don't know all these wee things he likes doing. I just want to do the best thing for my husband. I just want to do the right thing for him. That's all.
I would like you to see what you think is best for Moira, what's best for Alec in this situation, based on what you know. You can also guess as well what you think might be best for him. So he's going into a care home, and that's one solution for Alec, but there might be other solutions as well, which help support what is it Alec wants, what is it that we think Moira wants. How can we help them to get what they want? Now that's one solution to go in a care home. There might be others. The other things I'd like to think about is, I've heard this phrase a lot when we were doing the research for these dramas, is best interests. Can somebody explain to me, because I've heard it in so many different contexts, what best interests mean, because that was the basis of decision making for Alex. What does best interests mean when it's used in care?
They're talking about what they think is better for the person.
Who's they?
They, if you're talking about doctors, social workers, nurses, people like that, what they actually think is better for the person, not what is actually best for the person. It might be better for the person to be at home and have care at home. Familiarity for somebody who has dementia, familiarity is the best thing for them. To put them into a care home, they might just deteriorate and that's it. You know?
Yeah, okay. So there's a suggestion that best interest might be in the professional's best think it's in the person's best interest, and it might not actually be. Anybody else got anything to say about best interests?
I think it's probably
Sorry?
I think it's probably a bit outdated in some respects, because I think a lot of the policies and the procedures and I suppose legislation is much more focused on what matters most to people, but we haven't, as organisations, and I think it is in that wider sense, as Bernice was saying, made that shift. So best interest is probably a safety net.
Oh, that's what you were saying about safety.
But it needs to shift, because it's much more personal when we think about what matters most. But it's impersonal to think of someone's best interests, because we really don't know unless we ask.
Okay, what were you going to say? So just some sort about safety. So you think it's best interest is a safety question, and maybe and the shift maybe needs to happen.
From the professional's point of view, there's the bit around what is Alex's needs and where best could those needs be met. And so you're right at saying if his preference would be to be at home, could his needs be met at home, or does he have needs that he would need to go
To be somewhere else to have his needs met. Okay, needs and wants, interests.
Communication as well with the wife, because she clearly doesn't understand the situation that Alex has been put into. Like nobody seems to have explained fully that situation. You know, and maybe if it was she was actually they were sat down and explained to them to her, you know, why he's there, the reasons why he's there, when she can go in and out.
Yeah. She seemed a bit traumatised, I thought, Moira, about the effect of what's happened in her life. So she was going through quite a big emotional change at that moment, so more explanation, sitting down, taking more time with Moira may be part of a solution.
It feels like this is being imposed upon her. There's no exchange, there's no dialogue.
So it seems like this is being imposed upon Moira.
There's no dialogue, there's an exchange of ideas and involvement. The person then will be allowed to really explore his history, and you can actually really look at what the person previously might have thought was the best, way forward, and what they would want out of their life.
It sounds like it would take time as well, doesn't it? It sounds, I think it was quite I think when Alex was being discharged from hospital, it was a 72-hour, he had to kind of move on, so...
But sometimes just a simple fact of a conversation is actually going to save a lot of mistrust and a lot of actual pain.
Brilliant. Be interesting to hear that conversation. Sounds like we'll be able to do that later. Yeah.
My best interest is a phrase is something that professionals say because they think the other person wants to hear it, and also because it's within their gift to do it. If it wasn't within their gift to do it, the way that they say it's best interest will have come, then you know they're not able to communicate.
So they couldn't say this is your best interest if they're not able to make it happen for the person.
So it's actually a balance between what they feel is least risky.
Risk again, safety, risk, what's least risky, and a balance as well.
I've always thought best interest was just, it's kind of at the start of all the legislations that, that a decision should be made in the best interest of the adult, and I've always kind of assumed that it was there to safeguard against people making the most convenient decision for social work or
But I think,
it's interesting all the different interpretations of it, isn't it?
I think that's what I was meaning about, it's kind of outdated, you're right, but it's how, because nobody knows my best interests but me, even if I'm confused, I still, it'll be me, so unless someone asks me, even in the most difficult circumstances, people might surmise or theorise, but they won't really know, and I think that's the shift. It's yes, we've worked from that position of what we consider to be in a person's best interest, but that's formal, as we're shifting into let's ask.
It's like, okay, so I'm going to give you a few minutes just in your groups. You can write on post-its, and we can stick them up because we can give them to Moira's family, Moira's Alex's family later on. Other solutions, how can we help Moira and Alec in this situation if we think she's feeling all these things, if we think there's other possibilities, other solutions, that might be the best one, but there might be other things. Okay, is that okay? Another solution. Okay, would you like to tell us what one or two of them headlines?
As you involve Moira in the decision making for Alex's future, speak to Moira about asking her what are the issues that she has caring for Alex. So we need to understand what she can and can't do.
Okay.
Obviously that is part of the decision making for Alex's future is going to be. If care home is best option of interest, make Moira involved more to understand why it's the best option, and obviously that's your social work need to be more sit down and speaking with Moira.
Which is what we said earlier, yeah.
About her selling the house and etc. before it gets there.
Okay,
Yeah.
lovely. Anybody else want to add anything to that, or has got or talked about something completely different?
Not about safety. That the one to be in one for a few days while we thought about whether other solutions.
Okay, so time to think, it's kind of time talking, looking at other solutions.
We just said that she's got a lot of questions that are unanswered. Where does she fit in? How can she still have an influence on his care? Based on her years of experience caring for him, have they considered all options for friends and family as well? Do they get to still support
So the
him?
friends and family, so the bigger picture then
Yeah.
of what's happening in Alex's life.
Yep.
To be included in that discussion, is that to be thought about, to be
Yep.
included in the discussion? Okay.
She had a few financial issues as well, like worries. She was querying, well, do I need to sell my house to
Sure.
help fund and stuff like that? So if that was maybe explained to her.
So she needs help to kind of
Understand.
have it understand.
Yeah.
Okay, brilliant. More questions there?
Just to tag on to that, the friends and family thing, the community and Alex's interests, and that, it's just that wider discussion about supports, not just formal supports clearly if they're needed, but also the wider picture about things that are going on in his local community, things that he's interested in doing.
So it's wider life then?
Yeah, just wider life, we're associates and friends, other people could be involved.
Yep.
And involving her in planning.
So really involving more in the planning,
Yeah.
everything, taking time, talking, having space, looking at the bigger, what his immediate needs are, what his long term, and the bigger picture of his community and the other people in the family, and so on in his life. Anything else?
I think that the presumption that the person is coming home is part of the conversation, and that should be about
Sorry, say that. So whose presumption is it that the person's going home? Or whose presumption is it the person's going to care home?
The presumption should be that the person's coming home and what they're doing to overcome to allow that to happen.
So it's shifting the presumption then. So the presumption is you're going to care home, the presumption should be that they're coming home and how you overcome any difficulties.
And that conversation should also go with the fact that we have fun with the family as well. And also about best interest, reminding ourselves that the person might have capacity and they should be involved in that. Maybe if they don't, what you would have wanted should come into that conversation. Okay.
What they would have wanted if they don't have capacity, but everybody should be included in that conversation.
But being realistic about what funding all has to pay for.
But being realistic, because there's always the reality of a situation, whatever the boundaries of that are.
You'd also spoken about part-time in between options, so maybe a day time placement in the care home or spending a couple of nights. So some kind of in between, not an all or nothing approach to thinking about it.
Yeah, so some kind of in between. So there's some areas in between. So that all or nothing thing, I think in our research I came up against that quite a lot, all or nothing, this idea of it's one thing or another, but maybe there's an in-between way to do something.
I think as well, given her the opportunity to speak to other people with social services at HSCP, with the care centre, seniors together, we're talking to people to support with looking at our finances and our benefits. So we don't always have to do it all ourselves. There's other people that can help and offer provide support to the community. They've already been through that process, and I think we'll put the planning into it as well, and looking at finding out exactly what he wants, so that he can live his life within that care home, to find out that he does like feeding birds. And this is all written down somewhere, that there are all these processes went through, so they can provide that support. And also, if we can also provide support for him to live in the house, we can the technology-enabled care systems that we've got to enable that.
So to look at technology, there's technology-enabled care systems, that's a fantastic phrase.
Yeah. Gadgets and doodads.
Gadgets and doodads. So there's all of that bigger picture then, all to be explored, with the presumption that he should live in his own house.
There's also something about the timing of when this conversation happens, and that there's obviously been a crisis. He's been unwell and he's been taken into hospital, because that's what you said before.
Yeah, that's right. That's what
But
happened.
this conversation seems to have happened because the decision has been made that he's to go home. He's now medically fit for discharge.
Yes,
so he's to go home.
that's right. Yeah.
And on that, there's obviously been a bit of a wait a minute. We can't take him home. There's other, and without knowing what the other issues are,
Yeah.
or having had the conversation about, well, why actually is going home not the option?
Mhm.
It's difficult to put in things around that to say, well, you could do this or you could try that. But the detail is about the conversation. So having that conversation far earlier. There are carers that have been going in, so he obviously there obviously is a plan around the couple. So it's looking at what that is and what options there are, so that actually when a crisis happens, you don't have to then look at that particular situation. There is a longer plan.
Okay, so it's like longer plan, talking about things earlier.
Yes.
Talking about having things in place earlier. This is an amazing conversation, so I'm going to have to scroll up here, but I'm sure you have it all written down on post-it so that we can all reflect on it later. I just want to move on now.